Hey folks, hope you're doing good. Hope you've had a good week and all that jazz. Always nice to get to Friday, although it comes around fast enough. Now, normally when I'm kind of running late like I am today and we get to an evening show, I put on some different kind of music, some post-rock or something like that. Because in the evenings, I generally don't listen to real heavy music. I tend to like something a bit more atmospheric. But that's not going to happen tonight because the bands that I've lined up today are super heavy, modern heavy European bands that when I was going through my queue last night, I was just keeping an ear out for bands that sound different, because in my metalcore queue and my modern metalcore queue, I've got a lot of bands that do sound like regular modern metalcore, but I had my ear out for bands that sounded different, sounded really modern and had stuff going on in it that you don't normally expect. And we've pulled out a bunch of bands that have got that today, I think, and they sound super nice. They just happen to all be from Europe. We got two bands from the UK, one band from Germany, and one band from Ukraine as well. So very, very cool. The first band, they sound so dope, and I had two of their tracks in my queue that we're actually going to listen to two of their tracks. They're a UK band. They sound absolutely amazing. Really cool distortion effect that just caught my ear straight away. And when I skipped through their tracks a bit, it wasn't just all heavy and stuff. It's got some extra elements in there as well, which you might not expect. This is a band called Heriot. The track that we're going to listen to first, where they've got two videos for us, is Coalescence. Let's give these guys a spin. Sounding super dope. Absolutely sick as hell. Loved everything about this band. Very nice band. These guys are different. These guys have got a very nice sound and are doing things and putting sections together in ways you really don't hear in a modern way, in a different way. super dope. Cool video to go with that one as well. Got into that very nicely. Man, these guys have just got so much dopeness going on. Grinding, deathing, blackened in there as well. Dirty, sludgy, filthy guitars, filthy bass tone in there as well. Breaking into atmospheric sections with cleaner vocals. Breaking into industrial sections with filthy, dirty, synthy noises and glitched out stuff. Sick. Everything came together really nicely, caught you off guard with the new sections. You know, wasn't expecting that clean section to come straight in after a blasting black and grind section that we started out with. But it worked. It sounded cool. It catches you off guard. You've got to do those kind of things nowadays to sound different, to be out the norm. Because if it had just gone into a breakdown or something like that, you'd have heard that before. But because the way they mix this one up with the sections, different. Nice. We've got another track to check out, and I'm very interested to hear another one of these guys. This is Near Vision, Enter the Flesh, another official vid for us as well. Let's give it a spin. A long one as well, 5:40. We get to see the band in this one. Just a great mix for this kind of music. Heavy, oppressive, distorted as hell, loads of distortion on the vocals. Nice punch in the drums. These guys like to mix it up. Nice depth to this bit. Cool. such a great guitar tone. Reminds me of Leech. That's done. Yeah. I friggin' love what these guys have got going on. Absolutely fallen in love with it straight away. The sound, but not just the sound, the freshness and the section slicing that they're putting together with this, bringing in that atmospheric, chilled out kind of slow edge to it as well. It does kind of break the track up, but in a cool way. They're going to have to really think about how they transition from the heavy into that more atmospheric stuff, so it's not really jarring, because people who just really love the heavy stuff are going to kind of switch off for the chilled section. But I really liked it. It's different. It catches you off guard. It's not what you're expecting when you hear grinding blackened death sludge, you know. It just sounds amazing to break into that, because it's fresh, it's different, it's new, and they do a great job of it as well. The female vocal with all that atmosphere and everything just sounded amazing. Really loads of depth in that atmosphere as well. Kind of just felt like you could fall into it. Great. It wasn't just kind of like an atmospheric synthy sound. It was layers of reverb and spaciousness. Sounded amazing. So these guys are obviously really thinking about their music, trying to be fresh, trying to be new, not just trying to be another heavy, grinding, sludgy band, which they do very, very nicely. And they could have just been another heavy, grinding, sludging band. They remind me quite a lot of Leached and some of the kind of power violence sludge that we've had on Paint and stuff like that as well. Sick bands, and I love them for just having that pure, dirty grinding sludge edge to them. But these guys go above and beyond that. They've got industrial edges in the music, the double vocal with the real manly, deathy stuff, and then being able to bring in a female vocal, atmospheric, melodic as well. Sounds absolutely great, fits the music really nicely and takes it in a different direction from that heavy, deathy stuff. Man, these guys have just got so much going on. I could just keep talking about how cool these guys are, but I'll just round up and say these guys are super dope. We're going to check them out way more in the future. Both the videos were sick as hell as well. So they're a high quality band putting out high quality stuff. Just one of the bands you've got to get on board with straight away. Sick. Very, very nice band. And I will just say now, we've had a few bands now. Pupil Slicer as well, I would say these guys reminded me of. From the UK. And I think the UK is going to come out with the next freshest, dopest sound. We'll see. The next band we're going to check out are from Berlin, I think they said they are. Extreme Math Metal Mayhem from Berlin, Germany. Well, that sounds dope. This is War from a Harlot's Mouth. Their track is called Scopophobia, I think is how you say it. Let's get it on the screen. Give these guys a spin. heavy, punchy mix. It's got such a great mix. These guys had such an amazing mix for the sound that they're trying to create. Punchy as hell, heavy as hell, sharp, got a real nice clarity to it. The guitars were so far up into your ears, they're coming down your nostrils. The vocals sat in there really nicely, sick drumming, could hear all the cymbals really nicely with the clarity. A great bassy, punchy low end to it as well. It's just kicked out the mix. Man, just really hit your ears hard, this one, but with a nice clarity to it as well. Just wasn't, like Heriot was super fuzzed out and distorted. These guys had a tight, sharp edge to them. Just punchy as hell. Sick! Blackened modern metalcore. Now, those aren't three words you put together very often, but I think we are going to start to be putting those together more so in the future, because I'm going to say as well, blackened metalcore is going to be one of the next dope things to get into. We've had literally one or two bands that have done it on this channel, very few bands, and blackened hardcore as well, which is something we've had very few bands of, but I do feel that the kind of freshest wave of bands that are coming out are adopting a blackened edge to their sound, and it's just sick. Blast beats, maybe in the guitar tones, maybe in some kind of high-pitched blackened vocals as well in there. Whatever edge it is you bring in from the black, you can elevate your metalcore, your modern metalcore, because they had a nice clean section in here as well, loads of reverb on the vocal, which sounded great. But it can elevate your modern metalcore in a way that you haven't heard, with a blackened edge, with a nasty edge, with a dark edge. It sounds sick. I love it. These guys sound super dope, and their mix just absolutely killed. Very nice band. This band is from Ukraine. I think it's from Odessa. Let me see here. Quickly. Yes, from Odessa, Ukraine. So I hope these guys are getting on all right. God knows how they're getting on. But it says here, it sounds like Deftones if they were fronted by Mike Patton. That sounds pretty cool. This is a band called Septa. Their track is called Redrum. Let's give these guys a spin. we go. Super cool. Man, we're having some sick bands on today. I just knew today's show was going to be an absolute amazing show. So I lined up all these bands because they just caught my ear when I was going through my queue last night. I thought, yeah, just going to pull out bands now that sound that really catch my ear and have got something nice going on. And all of these bands did that for me, and I'm just absolutely friggin' loving it. That was such a cool track. I'm not sure how cool the intro was because it kind of didn't go into the track. The track just kind of started. So it wasn't like the intro and the track were that well connected, but once it got going, this was such a dope track. Love the drumming, love the energy, the riffs are cool. It's kind of just got a lot of bounce and movement. It's got a lot of flow to this kind of music. The vocal was very flowy as well, where you decided to come in and out of the bars. Wasn't kind of at the start of every bar. It was loose and kind of, you know, flowing about over the bars. Sounded really dope, and just had a super great energy to it. You could see it in the video as well, which is dope. The energy that the vocalist had came through in the music as well. Loved it. Just a great energy to that one. Very, very nice. Right. Let's finish off with this last band, and this is another 4-minute track, so we are going to be going for a while today, but it's been absolutely worth every second. The last band we're going to check out is called Ithaca. These guys are from the UK as well. This track is called They Fear Us. They've got a high quality official video for us as well, which is super dope. So let's finish off with these guys.
Watching you make your mistakes.
All these modern bands are bringing in these atmospheric breakouts. It's just different. You don't normally hear that in this kind of music. It's cool. Heavy mix on this one as well. Absolutely punching you around the ears. Loud and punchy. Sick. All the bands we've had on today been absolutely dope. High quality as hell. All these bands need more listeners. They're not, they for the quality that they're putting out, with a high quality video as well, full package. These bands need way more listeners. They're all new to the channel that we've checked them out. We're definitely going to get all of these bands back on again in the future, because I do believe all the bands that we've checked out today are some of the freshest modern bands that you can check out from Europe as well. And I do feel that Europe, and particularly the UK, is creating some of the freshest stuff that we're checking out on the show. At least we have great bands come through on the show, but a lot of the great bands that come through on the show are creating a type of music that you have heard before. It's stuff you friggin' love, so we don't mind that. But I'm always got my ear out, and I always want to kind of be rooting about for the latest stuff, the freshest stuff, people who are breaking the mold, thinking outside the box, but it's working out. The people who are splicing genres together to create the next subgenre. I think all the bands have come at it today in a fresh way, with breaking out into those softer sections from super heaviness, blackened, blasting edges in their music, which is one way I really do think we're going to see a lot of new edges coming through. In hardcore, in metalcore, is a blackened edge, because it's something that hasn't really been done before, and it works super nice as well. I really think it's going to sound dope. So keep your eye out for some blackened hardcore, blackened metalcore. New metalcore is what we've had as well today, because there is a new metal edge to these kind of bands. It's not straight up new metal, but you can tell that these bands, grew up kind of post-new metal era with bands like Slipknot and all of those, and it's had an effect on what they consider is metal, and it comes through in the music, but it sounds dope. It's almost like a new metal revival without actually being new metal, because they're just adding new metal edges to hardcore, to metalcore and things like that, and giving it a freshness. It sounds super dope. I think all the bands today are really showing that there's still fresh stuff to come out in the metal scene, even in the metalcore scene, which you might have thought for the last number of years has really stagnated and got to where it's going to get, with just those typical, genty, riffy choruses and then a riffy verses, and then a singy chorus. That's been going around now for a few years. I've said it myself on the show a number of times. Yeah, I've kind of heard that now. I want to hear something fresh. And the bands today are doing that. Blackened edges, just being great in the vocal as well. Real high quality vocal we've had today, which sounds super dope. And the mix as well. The mix is just absolutely killing it. Now, I'm not sure how good these guys sound live, but on the record they sound the freshest, modern, powerful, chunky, heavy, punchy mix you can get. It's absolutely rammed through a limiter, but still has a super nice clarity and just a professional edge to it. Still doesn't sound amateur and rammed. It still sounds really professional, but it absolutely slams you around the ears. It's sick. So there you go. There's a whole bunch of bands to check out today. You can go off over the weekend and give them a spin as well. But yeah, some very nice bands. And my personal favourites today were Heriot. That, for me, is like what I'm actually looking for at the moment. Grindy, deathy, sludgy music, but also breaking out and having extra edges in it, so it's not just that sick. So nice. We'll definitely get those guys on again in the future. So that's it for this week. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you back now for the Monday grind. We'll see you around, guys. Bye.